Honorable High Commissioner of Malaysia in Bangladesh, he already arrived in the hall. We are requested you please come over here and take your seat. We are going to start our program. Please, যারা নিচে ঘোরাঘুরি করছেন
organized by Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So our honorable chief guest, Excellency Ambassador, Honorable Excellency, Honorable High Commissioner of Malaysia in Bangladesh already with us. Our other panelists, the Chairman, President Syed Moazzam Hossain, Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Syed Rashidul Hassan, keynote presenter, Mr. Jiaul Haq Hawladar, another keynote presenter, and Mr. Johirul Alam Bhuya, Chairman, Tourism Development Standing Committee of BMCCI with us. And here is our distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen. So there is our industry leaders of Tour Operator Association of Bangladesh, to Mr. Tawfiquddin Ahmed. There is other tourism personalities with us. There is here is presence the President of Tourism Resort Industries Association, Mr. Khobiruddin Ahmed, and also presence the airlines professionals, Mr. Hanif Zakaria, and our industry colleagues. Today, in collaboration with Asian Tourism Fair, today is the second day. I welcome all of our distinguished guests in this session. Hopefully, this session is very important for Bangladesh tourism industry, and it is especially focusing on Malaysia market. That's why this is the relationship between Bangladesh and Malaysia, how we can promote, how we can develop our tourism both ways, especially how we can project Bangladesh in overseas market. So we know there is different market, we have to promote Bangladeshi tourism in different way as per the target clients. So if we consider the Malaysia market, which is the most important fitted product and how we will promote Bangladesh in Malaysia, this is the main issue of today's discussion. That's why Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce, I am giving thanks to the President of BMCCI, who will take this initiative and giving the priority on tourism, how we can make the collaboration and develop Bangladesh tourism in overseas. Today it is one of the example of joint chamber initiatives. And I believe from these initiatives, all other joint chambers will act accordingly. And as a whole, if today is Malaysia, focusing Malaysia, next day is China, then other countries, next destinations, if all joint chamber will take this sort of the initiative, as a whole, Bangladesh tourism will be branded proper way and will get the maximum benefits from the target audience. Because our Excellency ma'am, you know that Bangladesh is tourism just growing, and Malaysia and neighboring all of many other countries is much more ahead. And we want to use their experience, their expertise, that how we can, this is time to knowledge sharing. So if we can get the idea from, even sometimes we can do the replica of your country, which is not bad, we can make a suitable fit, how we can develop. And it is very important today that the many stakeholders like airlines, hotels, they are doing business together, especially airlines. I heard that 6 airlines is operating business from here to Malaysia, their direct connectivity. And if I am not wrong, around 1,000 passengers is carrying every day from here to Malaysia. And it is, airlines is playing the big role. So we know the market, maybe Bangladeshi peoples go there, and Malaysian peoples we are expecting to come here. But there is a big gap between arrival and departure passengers. Mostly Bangladeshi people go over there and come back. So we want to justified inbound tourists also from Malaysia. This is the area of today's discussion. So I will not today's discussion. I hope the most of the professionals will give their ideas and will note it down. And after the session, we'll try to make a feedback of today's session, and we try to give this feedback to our government, our private sector associations, as well as sometimes we will get the support from our excellency and the embassy, how we can positively project Bangladesh in Malaysia. And definitely without your support, sometimes we have some of the limitations. That's why it is a very good scope. Now I'm requesting our Honorable President of BMCCI to give the welcome speech of today's session. Our Honorable President, Mr. Syed Moazzam Hossain.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I want to give thanks to Halal. Helped me a lot by explaining the details. So I only have the opportunity to welcome you to this seminar. It's a great opportunity for the BMCCI, because BMCCI is not working only for the tourism. BMCCI is working with Malaysia and Bangladesh for improvement of our relationship between trade, commerce and industry. Investment and trade and commerce and industry, everything. So it is one of the part for the BMCCI is the tourism. Malaysia is a truly Asia. Malaysia is a number one in this region as a tourist country. They are the largest revenue earnings from the tourism. So Bangladesh, on the other hand, is the lowest revenue earning from the tourism. If I consider it is not even more than 2% of our GDP. But Malaysia is is almost 20% of the GDP. So this is a coordination, cooperation, knowledge sharing, experience sharing. If it is possible between these two countries, maybe we can improve a lot, and that will be our opportunity. That will be our now chance to take over the opportunity. Here all of you are key role players in the tourism sector. Bangladesh, population wise, very large population, and we are sending our people going many countries. And Malaysia, I must say, after the India, Malaysia is the second largest tourist from Bangladesh. India is a huge, but Malaysia is more than 100,000 people every year going from Bangladesh to Malaysia for tourism only. So, whereas comparatively, if you think that from Malaysia to Bangladesh, I do not know the figure, but it is a few thousand maybe. Not exactly as tourists, we are coming for business and for many other things. So, we are treating them, even the tourists, that percentage is very, very low. Percentage-wise, even not 5% of our total tourists going to Malaysia. So Bangladesh-Malaysia Chamber of Commerce and Industry is thinking how we can branding Bangladesh in Malaysia through tourism sector. Because whenever a man or a family comes to Bangladesh, they can understand what is the Bangladesh of today. Bangladesh is a country, we are almost a dark in other countries. Malaysia knows Bangladesh is a level supplying country. Malaysia does not know Bangladesh has a tremendous opportunity of many fields. From trading to investment, from business, from investment, from tourism, from hospitality sector, from halal food, everything, which does not know many other countries about the Bangladesh. People knows yesterday's Bangladesh. People does not know today's Bangladesh. Today's Bangladesh is a completely different Bangladesh. So today what I want, this BMCCI wanted how we can bring Bangladesh to Malaysians, so that with this team we are planning to bring Malaysian journalists, their printing media, electronic media, their leaders, their the leading people. We want to bring them in Bangladesh to show Bangladesh that what we are today. And today is a initial starting. And from now, if you give us a recommendation how we can bring them to show Bangladesh, that everybody can help us, our tourism sector, our airline sector, our hospitality sector, our hotels, motels, everybody can join with us, so that whenever they will come, we can show all of these things to them. And we are planning to do it. So today we have two keynote speakers. We have today with us Professor Jeolok Khawladar. He is the Dhaka University professor who is in this course. So Rashidul Hassan. Syed Rashidul Hassan is a professor of Dhaka University. He is a master in the subject. I think I was in Dhaka Chamber. He also given them many lectures in Dhaka Chamber on the tourism sector. And today he is with us. I think his paper, you can learn many things from him. We have another person who is his whole life is in the tourism sector. That is Muhammad Jeolok Khawladar. He is a manager of the Parjatan Corporation. From him also we can get a lot of information. Of course, this is a subject of the Parjatan Corporation. Our government initiative is most important. So I am offering from BMCCI that if the Parjatan Corporation wanted support from us, we are ready to support, but they should also support us. How to promote? We have with us Tawfiq Bhai. Lifelong I have seen him in the tourism sector, in the airline sector he is working. And we have with us the airlines and the hotels, and everybody is here. So from them we want to learn, and then we want to recommend, and then we want to proceed. So I do not want to take more time. Only one thing is important. I told the minister, we want tourism compliant country Bangladesh. And tourism compliant country, what it means, we can come down after the all papers. So now I think I can welcome everybody of you, and please contribute in the discussion, so that this will be our only asset of the future. And we have our High Commissioner of Malaysia in Bangladesh. She is very kind and shown keen interest to make a bridge between Bangladesh and Malaysia in different sectors, continuously supporting us. She is a chief patron of Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce Industry. Everything and everywhere, whenever we need help, she is helping us. And I believe in the tourism sector to improve these things also. She will be with us, and she is with us today. So now, thank you very much for patience hearing to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the President, Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce, Syed Moazzam Hossain, for his nice welcome to you all. Now this is the time to enjoy the keynote paper, and keynote paper is presenting our very respected sir. He is not a professor only in Dhaka University. He is a mentor of whole tourism industry. And So Dr. Rashidul Hassan sir is contributing in different way, different aspect, different area of tourism in Bangladesh, and very thorough and very depth on this subject matter. Now I am requesting our respected teachers, Dr. Syed Rashidul Hassan sir, to present his presentation, and Hassan Bhai is supporting his presentation. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mohiuddin Hilal. So he spoke a lot about me because he is my direct student. Today's program, this is on branding Bangladesh tourism in Malaysia. And today I feel very honored because our very respected Her Excellency Nur Ashikin Mohd Taib, Honorable High Commissioner of Malaysia, she is present in this seminar. I am also grateful to Mr. Syed Moazzam Hossain, Mr. Mohammad Johirul Alam Bhuiya, Mr. Janul, and Mr. Mohiuddin Hilal, the convener of this affair, and also to many other persons who inspired me to look into this matter. You know, because Malaysia, as you know, this country is more or less very popular in our country, to the people of our country. Many of us visit Malaysia every year. There are so many flights from Dhaka. But you know, why the Malaysian tourists, they don't come to Dhaka, they don't come to Bangladesh? This is a big question. When my student, another student, Mr. Jahir, he told me that, sir, we are going to convene one seminar on branding Bangladesh in Malaysia, so you want to submit a paper. But very frankly speaking, I prepared for that. Why? Because I didn't have much statistics, much data on Bangladesh-Malaysian tourism area. So just in 3 or 4 days' time, I have developed one paper. So in true sense, this is not your presentation. This is some sort of your, you can say, this is initiation, that we have initiated the effort in this big area where there is a huge possibility to export more tourism and to import more tourism from and to Bangladesh and Malaysia. So this is the starting point. And I hope that today, after my paper, we'll rather be very eager to know many things from our Her Excellency, the Malaysian High Commission. And also, the valued guests are there. They are all, you know, very well-known people, experienced people in tourism arena. And we also want to know something from there, that what we can do in future in order to promote Bangladesh in Malaysia. So welcome you all to my presentation. And this is, you know, Malaysia, as you know, we perceive what is Malaysia. This is, you know, very beautiful area of Malaysia I have never seen, because by Malaysia, we mean mainly the Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and probably the Langkawi. But it is a huge country, and many of the places of Malaysia very much worth seeing. But unfortunately, we do not have time, or we do not have knowledge about the total tourism assets of Malaysia. So according to statistics, we find that in 2017, around 26 million tourists visited Malaysia. All the times I find that there is a big competition in between Thailand and Malaysia. Sometimes Malaysia just makes its place in the top 10 countries importing tourists. And sometimes we find that there is no Malaysia, there is Thailand. So there is a huge competition. And this is quite surprising that, since 2007, they are maintaining the trade. Huge people are going to Malaysia. So this is, a treasure of tourism. On the contrary, what you see, this is inbound tourism, and on the contrary, what about your outbound tourism? The Malaysian people, as we know, that they are also travel-loving people. From this country, where the population is almost by 32 million people, and out of 32 million, every year, 12 million people, they go outside. So just imagine, if we even can bring only 1% of this 12 million people, so how our tourism industry will flourish. So that is why I told that this is simply the initiation of the effort that what we can do in future in order to bring the tourists from Malaysia. As I told that I didn't get much more time about getting different information of Malaysian tourism and also the Bangladesh tourism, Bangladesh tourists who are going to Malaysia. But initially I talked to some Malaysian people. Some of the professors of Malaysian tourism, professor of tourism in Malaysian universities, they are my very good friends. And all the times I make some, sort of your communication that I maintain with those people. So I asked them directly, why you don't want to come to Bangladesh? So this is mainly based on the interview of some very selected people, the professors of tourism in Malaysia. So according to them, they say that you have so many things. You boast of the longest beach of this world, the largest mangrove forest, the largest Buddhist home in the country. So all these things are definitely unique. But the thing is that Malaysian people, they are not aware of these things. They do not know much more about Bangladesh. They do not have any information even about Bangladesh. Another thing is very important, that the trend of Malaysian tourism, if you just go for analyzing it, you will find that still today, the Malaysian people, they don't want to go far long from Malaysia. They try to remain confined only in ASEAN countries. And also Japan, Korea, then sometimes India too, and China. These are the most popular places that are frequently visited by the Malaysian people. So it is not that they are global, in the sense they are regional traveler. So from that viewpoint, I will say that as we follow, we belong to almost the same region. So if we try, then we can go for importing more Malaysian tourists in Bangladesh too. So what are the reasons? Just I try to understand that why Malaysian people, they are not coming to Bangladesh. So I got some reasons, very important reasons, as you know. Generally, the Malaysians are unaware about what is Bangladesh. They have some misconception about Bangladesh too. So I will just go for discussing this thing. And what are the world-seeing tourism, assets, tourism destinations, tourism products we are having, they do not have any idea. Most of the Malaysians, they do not have the idea. The second important reason that why they don't come here is they are not sure that what type of facilities are available in Bangladesh. Because as you know, that whenever as tourists we go outside, we are very much concerned about the different places that we want to visit, and the other thing is that what facilities I can get over there, how is the situation of law and order situation over there. So these are the prime concern of the tourists. They do not have any idea that actually what are the facilities we want to provide to the Malaysian people. The third important reason that why they don't want to come or why they don't come here, as Bangladesh is almost a Muslim country, this is their viewpoint, it's not mine. As Bangladesh is a Muslim country, many of them regard Bangladesh quite similar cultural wise to Malaysia. This is a Muslim country, that is a Muslim country, so we'll see the same thing over there. So that is sometimes they do not show any interest in coming over to Bangladesh. Rather, they want to learn other cultures. For example, Japanese culture. For example, Chinese culture. For example, your Korean culture, even Indian culture. The fourth important reason is at least for some segment of market, they feel that Bangladesh is too flat to enjoy. Ours is a plain land. But many of the people of Malaysia, they don't like plain land. They like some sort of adventure tourism. It may be trekking, it may be swimming in the ocean, in the sea. So, they do not have even idea that we have the longest sea beach in the world. One of my friends, he is also a Malaysian professor at the University of Malaya. He is a professor of tourism, and his passion is your swimming and trekking. And he told that if you can, arrange some sponsor, so I'll swim from Cox's Bazar to Teknaf, 120 kilometers, and I'll post all the pictures and also writing on your Cox's Bazar. And as you know, he has a big contact in Facebook. So it will be a big promotion for you. So that is why they told that plain land, it is not very good for us. We want some sort of adventurism in tourism. Then your number 5 is that which is very common all the times we say, that Bangladesh has a negative image all through the world, and the Malaysia is no exception. We'll come to discuss, we'll discuss the thing in detail later on. This is one of the reasons that Malaysia, they do not have any good image about Bangladesh. Number 6 is, they have developed a perception about Bangladesh as a poor country. As you know, we were poor, now definitely we are not poor. But they have the perception that Bangladesh is a poor country and people are very, they do not have any education. They come to different countries to work for their livelihoods. And also, another very important issue, recent issue is that for these reasons, many of the Bangladeshi people, they illegally boat ferrying to other countries. They illegally go by boat to other countries. Number 7 is to them, India and Bangladesh are almost same country. It's almost same, India, Bangladesh, so it's all right, so we better go to India. And in India and Bangladesh, almost same country in terms of your culture, in terms of your geography, in terms of people, food, dress, so everything remaining same. Rather, they have some sort of conception that India is a bit sophisticated country as per their views. They think that India is a bit sophisticated country over Bangladesh. The last one is they prefer to visit nearby countries, that is your ASEAN countries, Japan, South Korea, and in many occasions they prefer to go to India. Now the thing is that there are so many other reasons too. This is a big area. It actually needs research. We have to go for doing some research that what are the main problems, what are the very important pinpointing problems that the Malaysians are having in their minds, and that we have to make it clear from their thinking, from their perception. Then comes your negative image about negative image. I told that negative image, this is because of your mainly our political, normally we say that because of your political problems, because of terrorism incidents, so they are having negative image. But I think that this is not a big problem for us. Negative image, this is something else. In Bangladesh, how many terrorist incidents happened over the last 5 years? But all the times we find in USA, in UK, even in India, in Bali, even in Thailand, in the Philippines too, there are so many terrorist incidents. But whenever there is any incident in Bangladesh, this is very much highlighted by our media, both print and as well as your electronic media. So, just you can understand how many incidents that we had recently. No incident. People, especially the female tourists, they don't want to visit India. Why? Because they don't feel security over there. But in Bangladesh, can you cite any example that any of the foreign female tourists were mishandled by our country people? No, not a single example. So this is a very important thing, that we have to reverse this image. And how do we go for reversing this image? This is a big question for us. In Malaysia, the negative image is something different. This is because of the illegal laborers in Malaysia. Bangladeshi laborer, mainly the illegal laborers in Malaysia. So their image, negative image about Bangladesh, the reason is something else. It is not very much related to your terrorism activities. So these are the negative things that they are, having in their perception. Now what we have to do? We have to make the negative things positive. And we have to think that how we can do it. So I have proposed one thing here, that whenever we think about Taj Mahal definitely, it is worth seeing place, worth visiting place. But whenever we say that Taj Mahal was built by 20,000 laborers in 20 years, so that gives some sort of a magnitude that, yes, what is that? So exactly in this way, just can we not think in this way that the Bangladeshi laborers, they are going to Malaysia to build up their high-rising buildings, their skyscraper buildings. They have built Putrajaya, as you know that Putrajaya, the Bangladeshi laborers, they work there. So by giving their blood, by giving their sweat, they have built so many important establishments of Malaysia. So at least we can tell our friends in Malaysia that this is our contribution, that we have developed your country. So you must have respect for us. So try to see the things, the negative things in some positive way. So in this way, there are so many things that we have to do, we have to think. Because just in one paper we cannot include so many things. Another important thing is the fam trips, familiarization trip, which is very popular term in tourism, familiarization trip, fam trips. I'm giving one example here, that Maldives is now a very, very popular destination, tourism destination. But before 1971, nobody knew about Maldives. The Italian traveler, Mr. Corby, for the first time he went to Maldives. And next year, in 1972, he brought the first tourist group comprising 22 members to Maldives. And these members were from Italy, from Spain, from France and other countries. And these people are known as the founder of Maldivian tourism. It is not the Maldives. It is the people from different countries who visited Maldives. So Corby just put one condition to them. I will take you to Maldives, but what you have to do, you have to write a number of features about Maldives. you have to telecast some, very important, very attractive spots of Maldives in your television channels. So this was the condition, and they did it. And after that, Maldives came into the map of world tourism. So this familiarization tourism is your very important thing. Nowadays, we don't advise the people that go for mass advertising, because mass advertising is simply wastage for us. Unless you specifically know that who is your target market, at that time mass advertising is simply wastage for the marketers. So that is why we say that spend small amount of money, try to reach huge number of customers. And that is why nowadays Facebook is very popular. Nowadays Instagram is very popular. Twitter is very popular. So these are the social media by which at the minimum cost we can reach to your maximum number of audiences. So okay, next. This familiarization trip, this is, I'm just giving one example. As you know, that we are having the our Rupur nuclear power plant. Rupur nuclear power plant, and very recently I came to know that the Russian corporation, Rosatom, who is constructing our Rupur nuclear power plant, recently they invited a group of bloggers, 4 bloggers. And out of 4 bloggers, one blogger is very much famous in Russia. And he claims that he has 1 million, more than 1 million followers. And all these 4 bloggers, in total, they are having 1.6 million followers. So the Rosatom, they brought this group, and with the condition that we will just take you to some important and very interesting, attractive places of Bangladesh, and when you will go back, you have to post some pictures and writing on these destinations. So why this? Because as Russian investment there is a huge investment, as you know, so they feel that this is their responsibility also to promote Bangladesh in Russia. So they are bringing these people, these bloggers, at their own cost. So in our country too, I will say that this is definitely a responsibility of the government too. The government will definitely help the private owners, the private entrepreneurs, to bring these bloggers, to bring the, there are so many Facebook groups. So bring the Facebook groups of the bloggers to Bangladesh and go for making some very successful fam tree. And this is very effective. Don't go for wasting your money, don't go for wasting resources for unnecessarily giving advertisement in your television and other international paper or magazine. So in case of Malaysia, what we can do, we can just invite some of the bloggers. We can invite some of the journalists. We can invite some tour operators, travel agents. But there is one condition, that we will bring you to Bangladesh, we will give you the treatment here, and what you want, we will definitely give it to you. But the only condition is here that whenever you go back to Malaysia, so you have to write some features about Bangladesh, some pictorial features about Bangladesh. You have to telecast some, documentary movie on Bangladesh. So in this way, whenever we talk about the branding, what is the branding? Branding doesn't come out of blue. For making branding, you have to wait for a long time. All the times you have to go for hammering. Till today, we couldn't develop any slogan for our country. No successful slogan, we don't find. So actually just before half an hour, we are talking with Her Excellency the Malaysian High Commission, and she told us one very important thing, that we claim Malaysia truly Asia. But you the people, you can claim Bangladesh land of truly Asian hospitality. So that gives some sense. That makes some sense. It is not your beautiful Bangladesh. Bangladesh is beautiful to me, but why Bangladesh will be beautiful to Malaysians, Indians, or other people? So that is why we have to think in this way, that what can be the very attractive slogan for Bangladesh, which we can throw to the people of other countries. And whenever, all the times they will go for receiving this message, only after that they will develop some sort of good image about Bangladesh, and that we call your branding. So developing the branding overnight, it is never possible. Anyway, so I have given here some important points, that in order to make familiarization trips, fan trips, what we have to do. We just go for arranging some familiarization trip, but unfortunately, exactly, many of us do not have any idea that what is a familiarization trip, how we can go for arranging it most successfully and effectively. So I have given some important points here. So I will go through the all points, and last of all, just I will say that we'll bring the people from Malaysia here. We'll just take them to different, our important touristic destinations, and we'll try to give our maximum hospitality to these people. And there will be only one request, that you are the journalist. So what you have to do whenever you go back to Malaysia, then in your vernacular, dailies, you have to write features about Bangladesh. So if you write 3 features, in this way, if we just bring, 5 journalists, so there will be 15 features about Bangladesh. And that is the way of hammering the name of Bangladesh in the minds of the people. And that is the branding. So, this is all about my presentation. Now the thing is that as I told, that this is in true sense, it is not your paper. It is just instant thinking that yes, what we can do. And just simply, you can say very small number of sample I have taken in order to get some information. So today's, the main objective is that we want to listen from the Honorable Her Excellency, the Malaysian High Commission, and also there are very knowledgeable tourism persons here. Just we want to get some important idea from you that yes, how come we can progress in our next years, how we can go for developing our plans. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your nice presentation, and we will already get the idea how we have to go forward and how we have to prepare ourselves for branding. And this is very important. Please, sir mentioned that we have to use the market intelligence. Basically, we have to know the interest of Malaysian people, and at the same time, how we will prepare a fam trip. And this is very importantly, sir mentioned that we have to give them the best experiences. And when we'll bring the journalist or any other operators in Bangladesh, we have to give them the best airline services. We have to give them the best accommodation facilities in the country, and we have to give them the best guiding services, and we have to bring them the best of the products, best of the destinations. We do not want to bring them where we are not ready now. This is very important. So this is the reason to inviting the industry professionals, how you can support for making a successful trip. Airlines sometimes, I will also share later on, that sometimes when we will bring the fam trip professionals, if possible, airlines can put them the business class tickets, because we have to give them the best service. Yeah. So I'm sharing later on, and now I'm inviting our next presentations. Mr. Jiolok Hauladar, he is basically government representative here. So we need public-private support together. That's why there is two presentations. Now may I request Mr. Jiolok Hauladar, Manager, Public Relation, Bangladesh Porjeton Corporation.
Mr. Chair, Her Excellency, the Honorable Ambassador of Malaysia in Bangladesh, I won't be the cause of breaking your patience. Just I will show you some slides, like 2 or 3 points, because there are already experts in the audience, Tawfiq Bhai, Kadir Bhai, and also 2 government parts. So Tawfiquddin Sahib and Khobiduddin Sahib, they are also part of my government. So just 2 to 3 slides, how government is focusing to bring in Malaysian tourists to Bangladesh. Just I will show some issues. How Bangladesh, Malaysia is focusing to work collaboratively. First 3 to 4 things I need to mention. Malaysia and Bangladesh are the common members of many international forums. Like Bangladesh and Malaysia are the member of OIC, Organization of Islamic Conference, and also Commonwealth. Bangladesh and Malaysia, both the countries are member of Commonwealth, as well as developing a D8, which are the very important issue to promote whole gamut of the economic, including tourism. Also Asia Cooperation Dialogue. You know that ACT conference was supposed to held last month, but somehow we had to shift it. And Bangladesh and Malaysia are also common member of CEDAW. This is all the important issue for the development. So tourism part of that important issue. And you know much better than me that Bangladesh and Malaysia, both the countries possess common religion and climatic condition. Malaysia equitable but tropical, and also religion. And both the countries have similar family bondage, so there is a very fraternity. There is bilateral issues are very good, and common culture like eat with the right hand, no fresh kissing, and shopping. Malaysian people also love to make shopping. Bangladeshi people, they fly to Malaysia to make shopping, shopaholic tourists. And we have some bondages of intangible cultural heritage, like the 2 pictures of I collected from the Malaysia, and we have some similarities of food, cuisine. Next. Just this is tourist arrivals. Professor Ashal sir described whole gamut of the tourism industry and the bilateral issue. Just I collected this data from the Malaysian Tourism Authority, Tourism Malaysia there, and Bangladeshi tourists in 2014 it was higher, but it also Bangladeshi tourist in Malaysia is also in declining trend. I know why. And on the other end, very insignificant. That is Malaysian tourists coming to Bangladesh. You know already, only 11,000 to 12,000 tourists are coming, and some of them are business tourists. And what is the status? Government, what are the government taking the initiative? Just I want to share these issues. That is, Bangladesh and Malaysia, they enter into an agreement in 2014. They signed a memorandum of understanding on 3rd December 2014. What are the objectives of this MOU? Collaboration, research and development on tourism-related programs. Malaysia is offering us some also scholarships under the APO, Asian Productivity Organization, and also some other scholarship for tourism officials, and joint training pertaining to tourism-related programs, exchange of promotional publicity matters on tourism. We sent some promotional materials and also list of tour operators, because I am also part of foreign leisure activities. I myself sent the tour operator list to Malaysia, and we expect the same, the tour operator list from Malaysia to Bangladesh. Joint organizing of meeting, convention, travel mart, encouragement of economic activities through tourism. These are the main objectives. But how to implement this MOU? Under the initiative of Minister of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh, a joint working group has already been established how to implement the MOU. So a joint working group has already been established. I think very soon we will move forward. And issues of branding in Malaysia, you know better than me. Just what I think, just I put it here. Muslim-friendly tourism, because OIC agenda, because OIC has a tourism agenda issue, apart from other issues. OIC emphasize how to promote MFT, Muslim-friendly tourism. So halal food, halal life. If tourists from Malaysia come to Bangladesh, they can enjoy the same things. They don't need to bother about the halal or haram. Islamic trails, you know that Hazrat Shahjalal and Shahpuran came to Bangladesh to preach Islam. The trail is important for Malaysian tourists. And trade of Ikhtiaruddin Muhammad Buktiar Khilji. You know that with the advent of Ikhtiaruddin Muhammad Bukhari, Islam came to Bangladesh, came this region, and it is in 12th century, but Islam came to Malaysia after 200 years of this Bengal. It's in 14th century, but in Bengal, 12th century. So ancient Muslim civilization is Islamic heritage, because we are 200 years of them. There's 200 years of gap of civilization, like gold in Chapa and Afghans, very good Islamic heritage. And Khalifatabad, the Bagharat 62 mosque is there. These are kind of the good product for Malaysia. We are promoting this, and because you know that according to the Forbes magazine, Khalifatabad is one of the last 10 important city. This is all Sultanate period, and in Malaysia there was a Mughal period and British colonial period, but we have the Sultani period. So Sultani period, mosque of Sultan period may be the important to Malaysian tourists. That I mentioned 6 mosque, 7 mosque, and Sona Masjid in Sapanam Gons. And also mosque of early Mughal period, that is, and Moorish period. Moorish period in Malaysia, there are lots of Moorish period mosques, but we have many early Mughal period mosques. And colonial heritage, because we are 200 years under the British rule, Malaysia for 101 years. So this colonial heritage can be also interest for Malaysian tourists. And Sundarban, of course, Her Excellency already visited Sundarban few years back, and I read her interview. Here I know Her Excellency impression. And food fusion, Malaysian tourists love food fusion, and we are already moving with the food fusion. And Bengal hospitality, as Rashid sir mentioned, I was sharing with him the issue. And transit route. And my friend Mohiuddin Halal said that many, and Her Excellency also mentioned that many Malaysian tourists use Bangladesh airport for the transit. This issue is already with my minister and my chairman. I need to report my chairman, and he also mentioned that you should mention this issue. And shopping, of course, and garments. This is very favorite item for Malaysian tourists: talcum powder, ceramic, curtain, perfume, imitation jewelry, also very favorite, popular to Malaysian tourists, children's apparel, and golf ball. Though Malaysia is very much popular in golf, but golf ball is produced in Bangladesh. We have a golf owner here. Next. And what can else we can offer? Because 51% are Malay in Malaysia, 30% is Chinese origin Malaysian, and also other issues. So we can promote Silk Route. The Silk Route covers Malaysia and Bangladesh. And for Indian origin Malaysian tourists, we can offer Kantaji Mandir, Saptapit, Sita Pit, that is called, holy places for Hindu religion, Paharpur, World Heritage Site, Mosnagar, Salbon Bihar, Borandar Museum, and also cruising, sorry for the spelling mistake, cruising from Malacca to Chittagong. Already our Minister of Shipping, he is mentioning this thing and working on it. I'll be very quick, sorry. And you know that what are the government plans or program, you know that already mentioned here. I would like to mention that we are working, government is working, but it may be the target, slow progress, but hopefully the MOU that has been signed and the joint working group is there, we can move forward very quickly, and Her Excellency will give us some guidance. And I think I need to report to my chairman before coming here. I asked my chairman, and my chairman conveyed greetings to Her Excellency. So thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you, the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Jiaul Haq Hawladar, Manager Public Relations, Bangladesh Porjutan Corporation, for his very nice and history of some of the ancient history, which is very much fitted in our tourism industry. And there is so many similarities of our culture and heritage, Malaysia and Bangladesh. So it can be a good information for our tourism industries. Now this is the time for question answer session. And actually these people are policy making level, and our respected teacher is also knowledge part. But there is many one from the practical experience. Those are the tour operators. Those are very much practically involved to handling the tourists. So may I request to share the experiences, and I mentioned some names like Tawfiq Rahman, He is one of the very important tour operators who is handling the foreigners in Bangladesh. So may I request our volunteers to hand over the microphone to Tawfiq Rahman. This is very briefly. We will take some share from the in audience. I think very briefly if you share. Microphone. Mr. Tawfiq Rahman from Journey Plus.
Good afternoon. It was indeed a nice presentation. I just wonder, being an inbound tour operator from the last 25 years, how we can target the Malaysian tourists to Bangladesh. Unfortunately, already Mr. Rashidul Hassan, our honorable teacher, has mentioned that unfortunately we don't have the correct figure, the arrival statistics, that how many Malaysians, or to some extent that how many international tourists are coming to Bangladesh. Unfortunately, we don't have the correct arrival data. We are claiming that those who are crossing the airport, everybody is entitled as a tourist. But nowadays, UNWTO is saying that, okay, fine, whoever crosses the border, everybody will entitled as a tourist. But in our concern is that how many are actually the leisure tourists, or how many actually are the holiday makers. I mean, we have a business traveler, we have a BFR, we have a officials, we have a convention, we have a MICE tourism, but our main concern is actually how many leisure tourists we are receiving every year. So for the Malaysia, actually what I feel as of now, what is the main hurdle for inbound tourism to Bangladesh? The major thing is the travel advisories or the travel alert, or in other way it says FCO, Foreign and Commonwealth Office Advisories. I have no idea that what the Malaysian government is mentioning, that Malaysians are coming to Bangladesh, what is the travel advisories for Malaysia. But I know the Singapore and all the major tourist arrival countries, unfortunately our travel advisories are very alarming. I mean, if some of the countries are saying that don't go to Bangladesh, if you go to Bangladesh, the foreigners are directly targeted. Foreigners, the targeted killing. If you see the UK website to Bangladesh, they are saying that foreigners are targeted killing to Bangladesh. If you see the Japanese website, if you see the Australian website, if you see the France website, if even the Singapore. I mean, last week I was watching the Singapore travel alert to Bangladesh. But it is also alarming. I mean, if you go to Bangladesh, don't come out from the hotel, stay inside the hotel room, or don't go to the shopping mall. Don't ride a rickshaw, don't go after the sunset to blah blah, so many things. So that is actually one of the major important points. So my suggestion is two-way. One way is the local embassies or the High Commissioner, they have a big role to play. Because last year I still remember when I was in Japan to talk with the Japanese officials, JATA officials, they are saying that, okay fine, in Japan, initially it was red alert, now it is yellow alert. Yellow means the same thing, don't go. If you go, stay inside the hotel, don't ride the rickshaws, CNGs, shopping malls, restaurants, outside, blah, 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 so many things. So the major thing would be that go and talk with your local Japanese ambassador or the embassy, invite them for a cup of tea and explain them that, okay fine, Bangladesh, we had these holy artisan things and terrorism, blah, blah, so many things. But from the last 2 years, a couple of years, we have so many successful stories. So go and convince them, and if they can send a positive inputs to the foreign ministry of that country, then only the foreign ministry of that country will consider to release that travel alert or something like this. So I am requesting Honorable Her Excellency in Malaysia that please, write down the positive things about Bangladesh so that the people of Malaysia or the tourists of Malaysia can have some sort of, relaxation. They're okay, fine, if I go to Malaysia, I will not be the targeted. The second thing would be the Bangladesh embassies in Malaysia. Our embassy in Malaysia. Unfortunately, what I have seen, that our embassies are so reluctant and they don't have any idea about the tourism in Bangladesh, and they are not at all promoting the tourism in Bangladesh. So I am requesting BMCCI that if you have a scope to go and talk with our embassy in Malaysia, so please give them information, provide them the surveys, provide them all the information so that they also invite, as Mr. Rashidul Hassan correctly mentioned, that we need some sort of positive fam trips to Bangladesh. We should invite some of the media personnel, some of the tour operators, so they will come and visit and then go back and tell to other people that okay, fine, Bangladesh is a safe thing. A place for travel. I mean, that is only the way to promote Bangladesh in a positive way.
Thank you, Tawfiq Rahman, for his many issues he already raised. But this is the way of we are working. This our excellence is here. Malaysia, Bangladesh, we have so many similarities, and many people are in Bangladesh is Malaysia. So we, So now I am requesting any questions from the audience on the presentations. Please raise the question first. If you have any question, then it will.
This is Architect Alamgir, the immediate past president of Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber. And thank you everybody, those you were associated with this program today, and we learned a lot from the two presentations. I have one question because it is from my personal experience. I realized that the major problem lies with the government policy. For example, the government, even the Progenitor Corporation and other government agencies, they always say that we are doing this and we will do that. But in reality, it is far away from what the reality is prevailing. My experience is I bring one Malaysian investor. They are very keen to invest in Bangladesh. But we realize the policy is really horrible. Say, Bangladesh government planned to build one twin tower in Purvachal. It's a 142-story building. But they are asking Malaysian investor, you buy the land first. This is the price, you buy the land first. So the investor says, why should I buy land? Because I'm going to invest money to your country. Again, there is another project from Beja. It's Jalia Palong. It's a nice place in Teknaf. Same thing happened. They are asking you buy the land first, then you do the rest of the thing. So I think from the government side, it is very, very wrong policy, and it is not inviting for the foreign investor to invest in Bangladesh, especially in the tourism sector. So my question to particularly Mr. Sorry, I forget your name. Mr. Ziaul Haq, that is there any pragmatic policy government have currently so that we can get rid of this kind of problem? Because what I'm telling it is the reality, and it's not me. Other people are facing the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you. May I know your name, please?
I mentioned my name. This is Architect Alamgir, ex-president Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber.
Thank you. Hopefully in the answer session, and then deliver your answer. Now, may I request anyone from the audience to have any questions? I'll request that Ghulam Qadir Bhai to raise say a few words, very brief, to share your experience.
Thank you very much. At least it's a very stormy in the sense that we are trying to address how we can get tourists from Malaysia. We are standing at a point when tourism is almost zero at the level of foreign arrivals. Today, most of the tour operators in Bangladesh, those who are dealing inbound tours, are frustrated due to non-arrival of tourists. There are several reasons behind it. We have to try to get rid of it. But then simultaneously, I appreciate this initiative because we only shouldn't look at the long-haul markets. Rather, we should also look at the regional markets. And Malaysia, there are many reasons that we can tap the Malaysian market and the Malaysian tourists to visit Bangladesh. But that is not the whole story. You have to look forward, you have to take measures how you can reach that market. The ambassador is a goodwill for us, definitely, that she is intending to help us in this regard, but we ourselves have to be ready for that. Today, actually, Bangladesh Tourism Board, what is the role of it? Is to promote Bangladesh, but we don't see any representative from Bangladesh Tourism Board here, which we expected. So, many things can be done, many good things can be told, but there should be an action plan to it. How we are going to reach the regional market, what are the facilities we should create for the regional market, how we should attract them, and what are the attractions for them. We have to make a study on that. Which products are basically interesting for the Malaysian or for the Singaporean. I was in Singapore just a few days back, and the taxi driver, he is basically from JB, Johor Bahru. So he told, Bangladesh, oh, you are only Muslim, so you don't allow other people. I said, who told you? This is a wrong concept. It is a land for everyone. All the religions get equal right. We have all the festivities and the holidays on each of the festivities. So it's a very small information, he doesn't know. So who is liable for that? It's we who are liable for it. We have to do our job. If we do our job, definitely we can get the regional market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ghulam Qadir, for raising this very important issue of government collaboration and especially the Bangladesh Tourism Board role, because this is their job, what we are doing. It is a public-private. Now I am requesting Mr. Khobiruddin Ahmed, President TRIA, Tourism Resort Industries Association. He is also a member of Bangladesh Tourism Board.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to mention our presenter, our honorable professor, who is respected all of us, Rasulullah sir. He has given a tremendous paper, and he is also given a beautiful presentation. I thank them. Since our collaborator side, Ghulam Qadir said about the tourism board, I'd like to say something that tourism board few months ago were a little bit slow, but recently our new secretary and the CEO, after joining, we are going to make a mega plan, and soon we can do something. I believe it. I will speak many. Just I have to talk about something about Malaysia, because this is fact that Malaysia is now a developed country, and in tourism field they are #1 in Asia. Recently, last month, I was invited my daughter. She is studying in Malaysia, so I went in Malaysia, and when I went there, she took me around many places of Malaysia, Langkawi and Putrajaya, Cyberjaya, and there is a flower garden, strawberry garden, some name I think Camelot, and some other place, which I have seen. Since I have a golf resort, my resort name is Resort Golf Club, I am trying to compare the whole thing. What I have seen, I have gone through Bangladesh in all the places, as well as worked in many countries, in many positions. So I have seen what there. I thought Malaysia is a model for us. Malaysia is a simple model for us. What resources have in Malaysia to tell, I think, Bangladesh. But they have organized everything in such a way, people will go there. So I went to Cameroon. I went to Cameroon to see only flower gardens, to see the strawberry gardens, the fruits gardens, the tea gardens. All those that we have in Rangamati, we have in Bandarbon, we have in many places. So they have organized in such a place, their behavior, their organization, I salute them. But what happened, I have asked one of the owner of the strawberry garden, can you help me, brother? What help you can want me? On Mr. William, I said, I have a resort and there are lots of lands, but there are about 60 acres of land. So if you come, if you visit my country and if you help me, I will be grateful to you. Instantly he said, brother, I want to help you. And he came last night. 20 days he has stayed in my resort. And he made a flower garden and he made something, landscape in such a good way. I am impressed. So I want to say, Langkawi. Langkawi is a sea beach, maybe half kilo sea beach that they have organized in such a way. From there, everybody goes to some other places, like Rangamati. There are places.
Make it short.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much. I said we should follow Malaysia. His Excellency Nur Ashikin Mohd Taib can help us. Thank you everybody. Thank you my friend Moazzam to have helped this organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Kabir Bhai. We have a lot of experiences and we need much more time to share. So now I am requesting from this floor, requesting Mr. Mahabub Alam Shah, who is also a travel professional. Very briefly, if you have any questions, please ask any questions.
Assalamualaikum. The Bangladesh Malaysia Chamber of Commerce organized these programs. Honorable President, Mr. Moazzam Bhai, and Honorable Chief Guest, Her Excellency Nur Ashikin Mohd Taib, and all the guests, Chief Guest, and all the participants and everybody. Assalamualaikum. I would like to share the things in English, but because all the presence in here mostly in Bangladeshi people in my behind, so I would like to be talk in by Bengali if the President give me the permission. And I would like to make questions to some ideas about the chefs also. Just last, my brother told we have to take some share experiences from Malaysia. Actually, I'm Bangladeshi. I'm business করতেছি মালয়েশিয়াতে as a tour operator এবং inbound tour operator in Malaysia last 27 years. And বাংলাদেশে always Bangladesh is the best. বাংলাদেশের যতগুলো প্রাকৃতিক সম্পদ এবং আমাদের বিভিন্ন জিনিসগুলো আছে এখানে, সেটা যদি আমরা বহির্বিশ্বে না তুলে ধরতে পারি, স্পেশালি যেখানে আজকে মালয়েশিয়া সম্পর্কে কথা বলা হচ্ছে, আমাদের টার্গেট মার্কেট কিন্তু শুধু মালয়েশিয়াই না, টার্গেট মার্কেট হোল ওভার দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড। আমাদেরকে আগে স্পেসিফিকলি কয়েকটা আইটেমের উপরে নির্দিষ্ট করে বলতে হবে, যেরকম ব্র্যান্ডিং বাংলাদেশ ট্যুরিজম ইন মালয়েশিয়া। আমি গত মার্চ মাসে আমাদের মোয়াজ্জেম ভাইয়ের একটা প্রোগ্রামে, বাংলা টিভির একটা প্রোগ্রামে এই ব্র্যান্ডিং সম্পর্কে আমি বলেছিলাম যে সারা ওয়ার্ল্ডে হিমালয় কিন্তু আছে একটাই, সেটা কোথায়? নেপালে। সারা ওয়ার্ল্ডে যদি বলেন সুন্দরবন, রয়্যাল বেঙ্গল টাইগার কোথায় আছে? বাংলাদেশে। ওয়াই উই নট ব্র্যান্ডিং দিস টাইপ অফ থিংস? এবং আমাদের এখানে কিন্তু মানে ধর্মীয়ভাবে, সামাজিকভাবে সব কিছু কিন্তু আমরা মালয়েশিয়ার সাথে এবং অন্য দেশের সাথে আমাদের কিন্তু সম্পৃক্ততা আছে, এবং প্রতিবেশী রাষ্ট্রগুলোর সাথেও কিন্তু আমরা কিন্তু সার্টেন কতগুলো আইটেমকে আমরা মানে লক্ষ্য স্থির করে কিন্তু আমরা সিদ্ধান্ত নিতে পারি। আমাদের বাংলাদেশ সরকারকে সার্বিকভাবে আগে আসতে হবে, যেক্ষেত্রে এখানে বাংলাদেশ পর্যটন কর্পোরেশন, পর্যটন বোর্ড, আমরা এই এক্সপিরিয়েন্সগুলো কেন আমরা মালয়েশিয়ার সাথে শেয়ার করবো? বিকজ মালয়েশিয়া হ্যাভ অর্গানাইজড ওয়ে all the things they promoting all over the world. আপনি যে কিছুক্ষণ আগে যেরকম বলেছেন যে মালয়েশিয়া থেকে আমাদের কিছু সাংবাদিক বা অন্যান্য প্রফেশনস এগুলো আনতে হবে, মালয়েশিয়া অলরেডি ডুইং দিস থিংস লাস্ট 30 years। যখন ওখানে মানে আগে কখনো এরকম ট্যুরিজম যেত, তারা ট্যুরিজম সেক্টরটাকে এত বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্স দিয়েছে। মালয়েশিয়ান গভর্নমেন্টের সেকেন্ড লার্জেস্ট ইনকাম ফ্রম ট্যুরিজম, সো হিউজ। সারা ওয়ার্ল্ডে $7 trillion আমাদের ইয়ারলি ট্যুরিজম বিজনেস সাথে সম্পৃক্ত। প্রত্যেকটা হোটেল, প্রত্যেকটা ট্রান্সপোর্ট।
একটা প্রশ্নের দিকে যান।
আমার কোশ্চেন হলো যে মানে when our governments and our boards and our tourism associations, everything are working together, from when you would like to start this thing? This is my question.
Thank you. Thank you, Mahabub Alam Shah, for your experience. And really 30 years back, Malaysia started this job. Now we would like to share their experience and we want to experience their experience in Bangladesh. That's why this is the way of collaboration. Now may I request Mr. Hanif Zakaria, the aviation professional, to very briefly please share and asking questions. Mr. Hanif Zakaria.
Inshallah, I'll be very quick. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Excellency and dignitaries on the stage. I have just one question. When will Bangladesh government start thinking that tourism is an industry for a country? This is my question. Tourism is an industry for any country. That is the first thing. Number two is, if you look at, from my side, from 2005 I am here. I have given a slogan for Bangladesh, and this is called the undiscovered gem of Southeast Asia. And similarly, it is an undiscovered tourism also in Bangladesh, which is yet to be discovered. But coming to the positive side of it, 5 years back, we never had a conversation like this. We never had a seminar like this. So it's a positive side. So if we look at the positive side of it, these are all positive things what is happening today. All our brothers who have expressed, these are all positive things. No country can promote tourism without the help of the government. So tourism is always government and private. Both entities have to work in order to promote tourism. If you go to Wikipedia and if you look at the country's mottos, what are the mottos of the country? Under Bangladesh, it says none, no more. So the question is that until and unless the country doesn't want tourism, if the government doesn't want tourism, it's not going to happen. So entity is the tourism authorities, the tourism board, Bangladesh government, as well as the public entity. Together, it is to be worked out. 1971, Bangladesh was gained independence. So did Maldives. Maldives also in 1978. So if you look at the tourism in Maldives compared to tourism in Bangladesh, it's a very clear, significant difference that they were able to sell the sand and the beach and the sun and the water. And here Bangladesh, which has flora, fauna, ecotourism, Sundarban, Bandarban, largest beach, and unfortunately we have not been able to sell them. So I think the efforts has to be done. What are the key 2-3 things that we need to do? Number one is, every time we have to go and participate in any tourism fair that is taking place outside. For example, in Malaysia, whatever tourism fairs are happening, Bangladesh should be represented and showcase Bangladesh in those areas. Then only you will be able to brand Bangladesh there. Last point is that we are awaiting tourism to come in, but my question is, like as brother said, that there are so many people coming here, everybody is considered as tourism. That is true, but the question is, who are coming? They are also a significant number. So when they come to Bangladesh, what do you do with them? Is there, if you go to any hotel, is there a desk which says you can do local tours? Nothing. So the people who are already coming here, they should be taken around, maybe a city tour, maybe something arranged locally so that they can go and see. Believe me, these people, when they go out and they talk about Bangladesh, that hey, I was in Bangladesh, I went to Dhaka, I went to Cox's Bazar, there is no problem, there is nothing. Believe me, everything will be fine. And inshallah, Bangladesh will grow, and it's only that everybody's will is to make Bangladesh up, it will happen. And inshallah, it will happen.
Thank you, Hanif Jakaria Bhai. He is a very good Bangladesh friend. Long time he's in Bangladesh. Sometimes I make some mistakes that I try to speak fluently in Bangla, and he's also reply in Bengali. So I am sometimes confused. So he's a good friend of Bangladesh. Always he's projecting the positive Bangladesh. I am just requesting to say only few things. Our Honorable President, Tour Operator Association of Bangladesh, TOAB, Mr. Tawfiquddin Ahmed, to say a few words. And this is the last from our audience.
সবাই তো সব কথা বললাম, আমার তো একটা প্রশ্ন, let me talk in Bengali. Give us guideline how we can bring the tourists to Bangladesh. Guideline is very important. We are talking that we can bring, how we can bring. What is the guideline given by the Corporation of Tourism Board or the ministry? That is very, very important. Everybody talks so many things, all are right. So who can give the guidelines? I think Moazzam Bhai give us guidelines to do our practice. That is very important. Thank you.
I have. Yeah. Yes, we already noted down, and definitely we'll share this issue. Before there is one more person is from the audience, Mr. T.M. Wang, General Manager, Singapore Airlines. Mr. T.M. Wang.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see Bangladesh trying to promote itself to the international world. I just have 2 points to add to what my colleague Nick has said. Basically, tourism is an avenue for every country to actually sell itself, as you know, to improve on its gross domestic product. Airlines come, hotels get passengers, customers. There are a few issues which I see that are something that perhaps needs to be looked at with urgency is the infrastructure. The airport infrastructure doesn't allow for more airlines to come or to allow airlines to put more flights. The road infrastructure creates problems. When I go to America, I travel 120 kilometers in 2 hours. 2 weeks ago, I went to Sri Mangal, beautiful tea estates, very nice hotels. Took me 5 hours, 120 kilometers. It's a pain. Yeah. So for the foreign tourists who come, they don't have that much time. They want to spend their time well. They don't want to be sitting in the car for most of the time, getting to where they want to go. The other thing that I find that prevents tourism or makes a tourist decide, do I go to Bangladesh or do I go to another country, another city? The airport taxes out of Dhaka is one of the highest in the world that I have encountered. Okay. It costs more than about 8,000 Taka to depart from Dhaka. Where is all this money going to? Is it going to help promote tourism? If it is, very good. We will continue to pay. But for the foreign tourists, if I pay $20 to go to Malaysia, Indonesia, and I have to pay $100 to come to Dhaka, well, you know, that's one day expenses that I could have spent doing something else. So maybe something that the government can take a look at revising. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. T.M. Wang. It's a very nice question because for growing together in regional tourism, it is very important to expenditure will be the little bit similar. Now, all of the points already noted down by our President BMCCI. Now I am requesting our keynote presenter. So, sir, there is a few. So I am requesting Mr. Geolog Hauladar, very briefly you deliver some of the points which is raised already from the floor. Then our Dr. Syed Moazzam sir will deliver some of the question answers, and our session will be given briefly from our president. Now Mr. Geolog Hauladar. Yeah. After this question answer session, then our chief guest will deliver her speech. Mr. Geolog Hauladar.
Thank you. Many important questions are there. In fact, I not only represent Bangladesh, who has worked closely with my Joint Secretary of the Ministry, so I will take up the issue. However, I dare to answer some questions. Bangladesh, in fact, is the role model for development, but not for the tourism. Role model for development apparels, fishing, agriculture. Tourism is coming up. We need to take some time, especially because we are already on the right track. Tourism industry is now on the right track because we are having some strong legal footing. We are lacking of that legal footing. We have very good legal footing, strong policy, strong laws. And you see the strong industry, private sector are investing their hard-earned money. And yes, Bangladesh government is really keen to develop tourism, as Hanif Zakir sir mentioned. You know that there is National Tourism Council. Our Honorable Prime Minister is the head of the National Tourism Council. She is very keen and she is giving us many directives. Inshallah, within 2 to 3 years, you will have the tangible result. And regarding Alongir sir questions, yes, land is very scarce in Bangladesh, you know, because government is giving different incentives like tax repatriation or tax incentive. You can repatriate your profit, and many incentives are there under the beta. But because land is very scarce, so Minister of Land is going a bit a different way, you know, the land prices. However, I think for the tourism, you have a different zone like Sabran, Beza is doing. We are working in close collaboration with Beza, Bangladesh Tourism Authority. You will have land plot very easy over there. And sorry for one question, that is help desk. Yes, sir. We are going to, Bangladesh Tourism Board is going to set up help desk over there. And guideline. Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Jial, the one very particular issue that he mentioned that Beza is asking to purchase first land then investment. So do you know exactly some of the investors will not talk after purchasing the land. He will come with projects. So you should have to mention the Beza, these recommendations for investors going through the projects. They will justify that whether it is viable or not, and then they will come to buy land. So definitely from government party you should have to take this recommendation and deliver properly to Beza, our Board of Investment. Thank you, Mr. Please, you.
In fact, I think you narrated the issues. Yeah. Two government organizations, Ministry of Tourism, Beza, they are working on the close cooperation of the Prime Minister's office. In fact, both are the investors. They need to talk to Beza for plot, but there is some fees, you know. There is guidelines mentioned in the YouTube. Visit www.beza.gov.pd. You will have the guidelines because there are government rules due to land complications of there. Thank you.
Our Honorable Sir, Dr. Syed Moazzam Hossain, to add some few more issues as part of the audience questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't think that there is any question related to my presentation, but anyway, tourism is such a subject that we can discuss about tourism even the whole day. I just want to draw your attention that whether tourism is an industry or not. In the tourism policy of 1992, the government specifically declared that tourism is an industry. But the thing is here that in 1992, after that we don't find any follow-up. So this is our problem, you know. Even in our tourism policy of 2010, it is not updated. In tourism policy 2010, it is mentioned about the MDZ. We have already left MDZ. Now we are going for your SDZ, but our tourism policy deals with your MDZ. So you know this is the thing that we see in the in government practice, that they are probably very lazy people. I don't know why. Other things here that we are talking about the tourism zone, but you know, as academician, as researcher, we do not know anything that actually what the government is going to do over there. I don't know anything. So who are making these plans? So how the investment will be, done there? Even we don't know. We don't know anything about this Beza. Just I met the project director of Beza over there, and I asked him that what you are doing, and he told that, sir, we have established the wall surrounding the area. So I told that why wall?
This is because because of the reason of the security of the tourists. So I asked him that hundreds and thousands of people are coming to Cox's Bazar. So we do not go for establishing any one around Cox's Bazar. So, what is this? Do we want to isolate tourism from the local people? And if we go for doing this day, I can tell you that this, exclusive zone or whatever we call it will never be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our Honorable Sir, Dr. Syed Moazzam Hossain Sir. Now, this is the time to humbly request our Honorable Chief Guest, Her Excellency Nur Ashikin Mohd Taib, Honorable High Commissioner of Malaysia in Bangladesh. Her Excellency Madam, this is the you are requested to deliver your speech. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Our Excellency Madam.
Assalamualaikum, very good evening. Thank you very much, first of all, to Mr. Syed Moazzam Hossain, President of BMCCI, for inviting me to this event today. So much has been said so far, and we've heard from Professor Syed Moazzam Hossain, from Mr. Moazzam Hossain, and also prominent figures from the industry. I call it industry. Yeah. Okay. So well, so much has been said. So all I can say is that Malaysia is not foreign to you. Many of you have been to Malaysia. You've seen the development of our tourism industry, and it's true. The role of government is very important because we started off in the 70s actually, even in our 5-year plan. 1971 to 1975, tourism was already identified as a sector for Malaysia to develop, and this has been going on, from then until now. Our tagline, Malaysia Truly Asia. So that is the branding. When we talk about branding, that is the brand that people know Malaysia for. Before, I can tell you when I was first posted, my first posting was in Paris. People didn't know where Malaysia was. They said, well, Malaysia, where is it, near China? So they know Singapore, they know Thailand, but they miss the area in between. But now, we with the development of the country, the Petronas Twin Towers, the development of Putrajaya, and then the F1 circuit, that put Malaysia on the map. So you need products to promote the country. So let's talk a bit about what Bangladesh has. I've been here for almost 3 years now. So I think the thing that people talk about most often is the hospitality. So that's why when we were discussing before the event, Pakistan Corporation already had this idea about a tagline for Bangladesh. So I think hospitality has to be there somewhere, because that's true. When Malaysia started, because Malaysians are also proud of its hospitality. Because in Islam we say we honor the guests. So we look at tourists as guests of our country. So I think that concept is very similar for people here in Bangladesh. And the food, the culture, the language. And I must say that in Malaysia, people don't know much about Bangladesh. We talk about the image of Bangladesh. Much of it in recent times are colored by the influx of the workers in Malaysia, which is very unfortunate. Do you know that actually the highest number of expatriates in Malaysia is actually from Bangladesh? There's over 30,000 expatriates, these are skilled workers in Bangladesh. And I had a colleague here who was in Standard Chartered, who was in charge of human resources. And he actually asked his office to Standard Chartered to chart, the expatriates of Bangladeshi expatriates all over the world. And the number is very high. So you have this talent all over the world. So this is a part of, even this, this friend of mine, he also didn't know much about Bangladesh when we came. So for those of us who have come here and stayed here, we see there's a lot of things, there's a lot of potential in Bangladesh. And there's a lot to be done, definitely. Because, you cannot invite tourists if you don't have products, you don't have the infrastructure, the facilities. I mean, these are all expected, when people come to visit a place. If we look at products, some countries, it's true, Malaysia travel in the region, but actually Malaysians don't travel far and wide. For example, we go to the UK, for example. London is a must-go place, All Malaysians who go to Europe, they must go to UK. And London, Oxford Street, you bound to bump into a Malaysian, when you go around. But in terms of traveling, Air Asia, that really has opened up, the travel to Malaysians to go overseas. So that's why you see, big number of people traveling in the region. So if we look at ASEAN, of course, Indonesia, Singapore, Thailand is very close to us, so it's easy for us to go. You have some commonalities also. And then Cambodia, people go because there's Angkor Wat. You have a product already, so many people will go there. And we talk about South Korea. It's quite a new market for Malaysia actually. And why do Malaysians want to go to South Korea? Can you guess? It's the K-pop, K-drama series. Women, a lot of people, women, men also, they will be, stuck in front of the TV watching these dramas. And the young people, they love K-pop. So you have tour packages to visit places that were covered in this serial, like Winter Sonata. I don't know whether you heard of it, but it's very popular among Malaysians. So these are the things, products that needs to be developed. And here there are many places. I've been to the Sundarbans, I've been to Rangamati, and you have a lot of heritage buildings, well, they are not very well maintained. A few weeks ago, I went to Shonagong, Panam City. It looks so nice on the video. So, a few of us from the High Commission went on the bus and we visited. So we were quite disappointed because, there was this street and then we went to the museum and we finished everything in half a day. And the traffic was good that day, so we were not stuck in the traffic so long. So, but there are facilities that needs to be developed. A place a cafe, a restaurant, facilities that is tourist friendly. And for the Muslims who travel from Malaysia, places like for prayers is important. Like for women, so it's quite a challenge traveling in Bangladesh. Going to the restroom, for example, these are practical things. And then connectivity, there's no problem because there's there are 50 flights a week between Dhaka and Kuala Lumpur. There are 6 airlines flying both ways. We have Malaysia Airlines, we have Air Asia, we have Malindo, we have Regent, we have West Bangla, we have Demand. So in terms of connectivity, it's there. And there was also, Singapore Airlines. Not direct, but Jan just pointed that out. So in any case, there are things that Malaysians would enjoy when they come. And I was saying that there are actually a lot of business people coming to Bangladesh. I don't have the figures, but they will come, they make a day trip. They will come early morning and they take the early morning flight out. So they don't see anything of Dhaka, And I think that suggestion about having some half-day package or something for people to go around Dhaka is very useful. And what do Malaysians like? Yes, it's true, they like shopping. So there are so many things here, like textiles or sari and all this. We can make our dress using the materials. And then the porcelain. Before I came here, I didn't know about Shanbukul, Mono, I didn't know, but they're beautiful, and it's very, the cost is very reasonable if you compare to, say, Norikake or, other brands, British brands. So I think you can cater to groups, different groups, to promote people coming here. But the bigger image problem, yes, you know, you need the government has to play a role in this. Because how do you, you know, make Bangladesh attractive for people to come here? Another thing that is, you know, on the negative side is the cost. It's not yet mentioned about the airport tax. On top of that, there's also accommodation and food, which is expensive here. I mean, for the traveller. I mean, the hotels, if you compare between Kuala Lumpur and Dhaka, it's a vast difference. And for even $100 US, you know, you can get, if you have one of those subscriptions to those hotels and whatnot, you might have, you know, can get a room for $100 US. But here, a 5-star hotel would cost you $200 or more. So those are, you know, things that you know, that may not work in favor of Bangladesh because it's costly to come here. I mean, and the food variety is fantastic. I mean, local food, and then you have international restaurants and all that, but it's expensive compared, because the middle class in Malaysia, their spending power is lower than the middle class in Bangladesh. So that is something that you might want to consider as well. So I think a lot of things have been covered before in the speeches. So I'd just like to thank everyone again for this opportunity for us to have this discussion. So I think it's important, you know, for the different people involved in the industry to have this exchange of ideas. So when I was approached by BMCCI, I thought that it was a very good thing to do. And the familiarization visits, the fan trips, those are very important. Actually, Tourism Malaysia actually invested a lot in those kind of programs. We brought journalists to visit places in Malaysia, places which we want to highlight, and so they are exposed to the places, the culture, and you know, the important thing is to plan it well, because you have to think the outcome. What do you want out of this? So make sure you give them nice pictures and give them write-ups, because sometimes journalists, they are very busy people. So it's, you know, for them to start from scratch is difficult. So if you have like a proper kit with the, you know, with descriptions of all these places, pictures. I mean, these are all practical things, but I think it will help, because if you do it well, the impact will be very good. You know, like we saw this example of Maldives, you know, that was just started small, then it grew bigger. Yeah. So I think that's all for me now. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Excellency, for your nice speech, and you very specifically point out many important issues, which is really important for promoting Bangladesh tourism in abroad, actually, and not only for Malaysia. It is a suggestion for promoting Bangladesh globally. And very importantly, you mentioned the product. This is the only government should take help to the private initiatives for product development. If we do not have product, what we will market, what we will brand, and where why will people invite without our product? So government should have to take the decision for developing products. Thank you, Excellency, for raising these very important issues. Now I am inviting the President BMCCI for summing up this session, Mr. Moazzam Hossain, President BMCCI.
Thank you all for giving a lot of inputs for the program. However, I must give thanks to who participated in the question and answer session. First of all, I have some note of the points. Mr. Tawfiq Ahmad, who made very nice comments. This is a statistics is not available. Government people are here. So, very important. You know, if you do not have the statistics, how can you go for? So this is very vital point which I feel, and alertness advices to the tourists, which is also very important, and this is very much needed. Question is how we overcome these things. Tourism is not the only tourism. Tourism is a presentation of a country. Tourism is a presentation of a society. Tourism is a presentation of a religion, food, everything. So we should not see only the focusing only tourism. A person who comes in a country, he is seeing everything. How the people, how the structure, how the culture, how the food. So we must make a combination of comprehensive program for tourism development. And that is needed by not individual organization, it's a combination of all, private sector, government sector, and everybody should cooperate with each other, and including the peoples of the country. Because I know when the tourism you have to develop your people's understanding of the area peoples. Because they must know tourism when it comes, they have to give a good hospitality. So that is also a training of the local peoples is important. So thank you very much, Mr. Tawfiq. You've given a very good information to us. And Mr. Arundhati Jolel, very vital point, no policy. And policy is there sometimes, policy আছে কিন্তু কাজে নেই। আমাদের অবস্থাটা সেরকম যে বলে না কাগজে আছে কিন্তু গোয়ালে তো গরু নেই। আমাদের অবস্থা সেরকম, we have a good policies is no doubt, but unfortunately this policy implementation procedure is not properly done. So this is also important thing. I think I must say project and people should take into note these things. And Golam condition, many points. Foreign arrival at this moment is 0. I must say it is also almost 0, if not 0. And the Israel market we must look into. In fact, we are talking about only the Malaysia promotion because we have Malaysian chamber. But if we can really make a comprehensive program of suggestions or recommendation, that will be applicable for all countries, not only regional, international, I must say. So that is also a policy government should take like that. And the other point, to bring the people from abroad, whether are we ready? This is a very big question. And this question, who will answer, I do not know. Bangladesh Tourism Board, I do not know whether they are active or not. Tourism Board of Malaysia is doing a fantastic job. They have a policy, 1 Malaysian, 1 tourist. Last year they said 27 million of tourists came, but in fact Malaysian people is almost 29 million or 30 million. So this is their policy, how to bring the people. And Mr. Kobiruddin, my best friend, he is also the president of his association. And I must say that it is not only the government should do everything. He has seen everything in Malaysia, how they are doing it. But he has seen internationally. We have to make it here also. And then only can attract people here. And Malaysia, he said, very correctly said, Malaysia could be a model for Bangladesh. And in fact, I must say also, I agree with him 100%, Malaysia should be the model for Bangladesh. And Malaysia, 50 years before, what Malaysia was and what Bangladesh was, at that time no difference much. But now Malaysia is in the sky, we are in the ground. So you have to make this gap fill up, and it is only possible if we take the proper initiative and we can take the experience and share the knowledge from them. And then Mahabubul Alam, very good point. Specific branding models. Specific. Okay, this is my branding. Twin Tower of Malaysia. Like this, they are promoting these things. Why we should not branding? The Sundarban is the branding for Bangladesh. We can do like this. So we have to take the initiative like that. The branding, what is called? Some things should made internationally can be recognized. Say Bangladesh is now garments is the branding. Garments everywhere in the world now, people know, oh, Bangladesh is a garments manufacturer. Like that, tourism sector also we can do something like that. Mr. Jakaria, tourism is an industry, yes, it is government declared the industry. But in fact, my government maybe thought that industry means people should do something, produce something, and then get something. So that's why they forget how to make it a real industry. So that is the industry already taken, but problem is this, again I must say, the government have no proper policy. How can be treated as an industry? And undiscovering land of Bangladesh. It's very true. Bangladesh still people does not know. I cannot believe what available we had and that we could not really promote internationally. It's a best things in the world which we have already. But only the thing is how you present. At a Pearake, how to present by a 5-star hotel, that is important, and how can I present in my house, that is the difference. So presentation is also very important, and that presentation we still could not do it. And Wikipedia, Wikipedia said the motto, none. A country have no vision if it is like that. We have no motto, we have no goal. Then how really you can reach to the goal? So that also should be noted. I think we should also look into this, how we can fix up our motto. Then another important point, tourism fair internationally. Hundreds and thousands of the international tourism fairs happening in the world every year. Bangladesh is going somewhere, but people are going somewhere. I have seen once in England, they participated in England, spending a lot of money. The presentation, if you see how poor it is, they do not know who is attending, how to wear a tie. You know, they are attending in the booth, and that should not be the presentation. Presentation should be something different. You have to think, I have to be a #1 presenter, I have to make it a very nicely presenting. An international tourism fair, if we participate everywhere in the world, then really we can understand what is the tourism sector. He said a $7 trillion market in the hospitality and the tourism sector. But I think if not even 7 trillion, but it is a 4 trillion sure. So Bangladesh has a lot of opportunity, but we could not really make it. And I must note this point. I think I must also talk to the minister to participate in the international fairs. And then Tawfiq Tuab, tourism guideline. Who will give Tawfiq Bhai? Who will give the guideline? You have to give the guideline. Tuab should give the guideline. And you have to give the guideline to the government, and government will make it and ensure it. All the presidents of the associations, we have a lot of associations in the private sector for the tourism sector. I'm not 100% tourism sector man, but still I'm trying to do something for the tourism sector. So guidelines must be there, you know. If you go in Singapore, 20 years before when I went to Singapore, when I landed, they given a box to me with a map, guidelines, shopping, and everything is there. In Bangladesh, if you go with online, you cannot get the correct information even about the tourism sector. Agreed, Portugal Corporation. And that is a very unfortunate. We are calling our digital Bangladesh. We are going to make a digital Bangladesh. How? In this way? No. So if we really wanted to do like that, it is only make it a positive way, and digital Bangladesh, digital tourism. Everybody should know. We are booking the air ticket, we are booking the rail ticket internationally from Dhaka. But can you book the air ticket or even a train ticket, bus ticket from Malaysia? No, no way. If you go for railway, online ticket, not available ticket. But ticket is available, not online is available. You go and pay money some, and then it is available. Forget these things and try to give a really specific thing. Mr. TM1, very good point, infrastructure. We have no really infrastructure, proper infrastructure for the tourism sector. Infrastructure does not mean only tourism. You see, I am just telling you one thing. If you land in Dhaka International Airport, you can see in the left side, millions and billions dollars of the product is under the sky, under the rain. There is no taxi cab. If there is not any international airport you can find me, there is no taxi available. Here is not taxi available. Here, whenever a tourist comes in the custom department, not properly trained, holding them to issue even visa for hours and hours. If it is like that, how can you promote? So private sector people only take the initiative. Your minister is from the private sector. Please talk to them and get rid from all these things, problems, Then only it is possible. I am coming to the point of our presenter. Well, presenter is always giving a good presentation. Theoretically very good, very nice. Whereas the practical recommendation that is important, how to catch this properly, that is also very important. But I must say, the presentation is well prepared and then information is also very good. And one very important thing I liked, Professor Bloggers invitation. Very, I never heard like these things, Invite the bloggers and give the input to them and they will publicize the bloggers. Bloggers will publicize the country. Country president through the bloggers, first time I heard in my life. Thank you very much, Professor. It is a very good point, and I think this can be really a good initiative can be taken. And also familiarization program that can be also generated. But in that case, peoples must come forward, You have to prepare peoples, and then only possible to make it a successful tourism sector in Bangladesh. And I have now our geolog collaboration. You have a master plan 2013. You made master plan. 2010. Implementation. What is the status? No answer. So, and that is the unfortunately it is very poor implementation situation in Bangladesh. 2014 we have signed MOU with Malaysia, and that is also hanging situation. If you go in Malaysia in our High Commission office, talk only the labor. They do not bother for any other things. This only labor supply, how you can make it, how you can do it, how you can certify it, that is the important thing to them. So if like that the High Commission is working like that, that should not be a real development we can make. And tourism sector, he said many our historical importance initiatives are here, important things are here which Malaysia could like. I have to present it. He named a lot of names. We have to present it properly, and please do this things presentation. Prepare for everything a good presentation, and this is very important. So food, culture and everything he mentioned, I think you can follow his things. And our Excellency High Commissioner, from her experience about the Malaysia, she said, branding is very important, and today we are trying Excellency for branding. And the hospitality is very good, but we have to show these things to them. And we have the food, culture, and peoples is very important, Peoples to peoples connectivity is very important. So he also mentioned about the peoples, and 30,000 expatriates working in Malaysia. If our government taken a policy, train them how to present Bangladesh, all this our expatriate, not only in Malaysia, everywhere in the world, we have a lot of expatriates there. So for them also some guidelines should be there so that they can, wherever they go, they can be our ambassador. And tour packages we can make like that. So 55 flights from Dhaka is going to Malaysia every week. Can you imagine these things? And this is a full. I have last 2 weeks before we are trying to go to Malaysia, we could not get a single seat. So we've gone via Thailand. This is the reality, Excellency. And excellent suggestions, write up in the newspaper, presentation in the television. She mentioned this is a very important. And the guidelines, KISS should be there. So these are the things they are already developed, And at the last and conclusion point of mine, I am requesting all of you, just think one thing. Why people will come to Bangladesh? Ask this question to yourself, and then give the answer by yourself. Then give the guideline. Sometimes I am saying tourist compliant country. unless you can do it. I had once had a meeting with the tourism minister of Malaysia. She was saying, whenever a shopping mall is designed, they are discussing with us how the tourists will be comfortable. So this is just a few points from my end. I hope from here you are going back, think in the night and find out some solution, and that will give us the future policy, what to do in the tourism sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our President, for very well address all of the points raised from the audience. Our Excellency have another programs. Now may I request Mr. Johirul Alam Bhuya, Chairman, Tourism Development Standing Committee of BMCCI, for a vote of thanks. And ladies and gentlemen, after this session, there will be a cultural program performed by Indonesian Embassy. Just few minutes for making the rearrangement. You will be stay with us. Mr. Johirul Alam Bhuya.
Thanks to my president, dynamic president, he gave up the sum up of all the total gist of this today's seminar. Thanks for patience hearing in front of ourselves, the guests, and the keynote speaker, my direct teacher, Ashikin Mohd sir. I am very grateful to you, sir. You just came few days back from Calcutta. You were a little sick, but still, with my request, you give your time for this seminar. And Jiaul Haq Hauladar Bhai, you are also giving a nice point, especially for the government side. And my special gratitude to my Honorable Excellency, Her Excellency Nur Ashikin Mohd Taib. The Excellency, in fact, here to promote the Malaysia basically, but now today she came for Bangladesh to promote in Malaysia. I should give a thanks for her. Please give a thanks for her. It's not her duty, but still for her feelings for Bangladesh, because she feels Bangladesh is not promoted in Malaysia the way it should be. So thank you all for your kind visit to this seminar. Inshallah, as a chairman of subcommittee, I can tell you we go for action in coming days, and we need your support. Thank you very much.
I must give thanks to the Asian Tourism Fair organizer, given this opportunity to us to make this seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I conclude this session here, and thank you, Excellencies, for visiting and as a special guest of this session, as well as visiting the Asian Tourism Fair. And I am just facilitating the session. All credit goes to the BMCCI. They are designing these special issues on tourism. Thank you, Moazzam Bhai. And thank you, our sir, Dr. Syed Moazzam Hossain sir, for visiting this Asian Tourism Fair and participating in this session. Thank you, Jamil Bhai is also supporting Jiaul Haq Hauladar and the audience. Thank you. And may I request all of you to stay with us. There is a very colorful cultural program by Indonesian Embassy, and hopefully everyone will enjoy. Just take 15 minutes time to start this cultural program.